crushing all your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Shadows try to hide, no place for them to bide. Light will pierce you through, reveal what is true. Running from your fears, can't escape the sears. Truth will hunt you down, tear apart your crown. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. I ask for nudes, but I'm engaged. Why is my fiance not enraged? It's time to pop that pussy, put on this wig. I prefer blondes, it's kinda my thing. I ask for nudes, but I'm engaged. Why is my fiance not enraged? It's time to pop that pussy, put on this wig. I prefer blondes, it's kinda my thing. I fired you before, want you drop back again. Get on your back, and let's be friends. Do what I say, I'll be your boss. You want back in, this is what it costs. They used to call me Keemstar, but they can call me Queenstar. I do like cream on my face. They used to call me Keemstar, but they can call me Queenstar. Now I'm a total disgrace. I am the cream star, I come in your face. I am the cream star, I come, I'm a disgrace. I am the cream star, I come in your face. I am the cream star, I come, I'm a disgrace. Don't call me Keemstar, just call me Creamstar. Don't call me Keemstar, just call me Creamstar. Don't call me Keemstar, just call me Creamstar. Don't call me Keemstar, just call me Creamstar.
This guy, I wish you could understand how much.
At one point, we'll exchange fluids, but there's no rush.
I don't even know how much I want to say because I'm not a kiss and tell type of person. All right, I got the ones that are team filled. I mean clean filled. We're gonna exchange body fluids at some point.
What is rule number 12 in the rules of this Discord?
No gooning.
Will drama alert cover this or no?
So fuck you, and we're gonna take you fucking down, and you're gonna be on fucking Casino.
Like, if this conversation ever got fucking leaked or whatever, I would feel so betrayed by you and probably never speak to you again, right?
You need to get your single ass over to fucking America, and you need to hang out with me at Brantley. Get that pussy popped.
Oh boy.
too much. Like, I really, really liked you. Like, friend level and, like, teetering past friendship. Like, I was like, she's the girl. I can mold her into being, like, a superstar. Like, when I banned you and I had to kick you from the community, it hurt me.
What? I'm trying to see you masturbate before I go to bed. I want my happy. Bro, I have this in my mind that this is how it, like, this is how it ends. And if it doesn't end this way, I'm gonna cry.
I said, what do you think his approach is going to be on his program?
I hope that he just owns it because he's Keemstar and apparently nothing affects him.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. Tonight we're going to be taking a little bit of a detour. Not our usual thing, but I somehow got sucked into this story. And it's spicy, friends. And tonight we're going to have none other than Linx, formerly of the LolCow Queens show, who's had quite a week this week. And I asked her if she would come here and talk about it. But we're going to begin with her history. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to thank some kind and generous people. And we've got Chill Station 7 with a $2 super chat of Ghost. Okay, it's a super sticker. Thank you, Chill Station 7. And another one from Chill Station 7 for 5. Thank you very much for your kindness, generosity, and support. And we have Chill Station 7 starting the goal with Lucky 7. Thank you very much for that. And listen, guys, the super chats, I can't like stop the conversation every few minutes to read them. So we'll probably read, I promise you we'll read every single one, but we'll probably read them after the interview portion of tonight is over with. But thank you. Bald Cuck. Oh boy, Ardenette is already here. And I see the live chat is filling in. So welcome one and all. We don't want to waste any time today. So we're going to bring her in here, the lolcow queen herself. Welcome, Linx. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi, Linx. So
I'm excited to be here.
just so everybody knows, I kind of was a little bit of a fanboy of yours. Like I watched you when you were on LolCow Live. And then once you were off, I never watched it again. Well, a couple of times. Like I tuned in to watch that Becky Boop eat the cat food
Yeah.
and a few other things that I saw clips of, but I didn't watch it anymore. So let's start with your history because a lot of people have sent in questions. And one of the big ones was, how did you get sucked into this whole LolCow universe?
So it's kind of a funny story. I had been watching H3, and beforehand, before I had ever got involved in this, I wasn't really big on YouTube. I watched like Smosh growing up. However, my boyfriend at the time had watched H3, and H3 was covering Boogie faking cancer. So that's kind of when
great
I joined.
story. Great guy.
Oh, yeah,
the fact
he's
that like
amazing.
the fact that you know what fascinates me about the whole LolCow universe, it's like no matter what people do, they're still making money. Like you got a guy faking cancer, you got a guy beating his wife on camera, knocking her down. He, like it's bizarro. Like anything goes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Literally, they spin anything into somehow being content, no matter how bad it is. It's
I
ridiculous.
noticed, yeah.
But I had watched H3 cover it, and then I noticed that they had a Discord, and I was very into Discord. I had my own Discord of 500 people at the time for like my business and my 3D printing that I do. So
Which is
I joined
awesome,
the
by the way.
Discord.
Yeah,
Thank
your
you. I
3D
really
printing is
appreciate it.
awesome, by the way. We're gonna see if you can't make some stuff for me.
Should we show something that
Oh
we
yeah,
had made?
I can show your latest piece that I think was kind of custom. It's like custom made for me
Yeah.
almost, and that's awesome. And let me see. I'll share my screen here. This is a UFO on somebody's shoulders, and this is designed and 3D printed by you. Let me change that around, make it big. So that's one of the cool pieces that you have made. And there's a couple of more shots of it finished. You like marbleized it.
Yeah.
And I told Linx I like this because it's like the UFO grifters. They're trying to hold up the UFO fairy tales on their shoulders with no evidence. So it reminds me of all the UFO grifters that I know. and there's so many more examples of your work. Maybe we'll show some more. But
Yeah.
so you had so you have the Discord for your business, and
Yeah.
then somehow that helped, like some lolcow
So
people joined and got you
so
stuff.
no, so essentially I had joined LCAL Live and I was familiar with Discord, but because I wasn't in Discords like LCAL Live, I had all my information listed. My all my stuff was my public name, right? So then I joined this Discord, and for those of you who don't know, it is like straight up a troll Discord. There are trolls in it, people who dox you, stuff like that. And I had
Wonderful.
joined this Discord, and then Keem was doing a members only stream. And if you wait in the waiting room in the Discord, he will bring you up sometimes. So I randomly, and it happened at the drop of the hat, the same day I joined the Discord, I got pulled up live on air.
Oh, so
Do you
they
have anything for us to watch? Any recommendations? And I'm like, well, I'm on TikTok a lot. Amberlyn Reed, because she was going viral with like the dog giving the like side eye to her, being like, I actually ordered an apple and they sent me a bag of chips, like that situation. So he covers it and he goes, oh, these are really good. So then I leave a super chat after he pulls me out of another person, and he keeps like whatever I would recommend he would like cover on his members only show. Then the
nice.
next day, he does the same thing, and I give a super chat for something, and he's like, I'm really liking this like Catlina chick, because that's what I went by originally, Catlina. And he's like, I'm
Catalina.
really, yeah, that's my real name, Catlina. It is well known, it's not a secret, but Linx is just easier to go by. It's a quicker name.
And it's kind of catty too. It's kind
Yeah,
of a cat thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, essentially, we're now on day number 3 of me being in the Discord, and they had a fallout with one of their moderators. So Keemstar goes, you know what? I know who I want as mod. That Catlina chick. Yep, moderate her. So then I was Keemstar's Discord moderator for, I believe, about a month, and I would do a bunch of stuff for him. I would host Jackbox games and all that, and I did it all for free just because like it was really cool, and like it's almost jarring. Like I didn't know who Boogie and Wings were at all. I knew of Keemstar being like a popular figure. I did
Yeah,
not
I
know
can
who
imagine
they
you're a little
were. Yeah.
starstruck, right? Like this guy's got
Yeah.
millions of followers, and now I'm working
Yeah.
for him and helping him, so that's kind of cool and interesting.
Exactly. So then I'm like, yeah, I'll do it for you. And I'm helping him out and everything. And then it became he used me for content. He would make lies,
He
bring
milks
me on the show.
everybody. He milks
He
everybody that he can
does.
find,
So
right?
before I ever got on Queens, there was 4 incidences on LCAL Live where I was brought up. The biggest one is the broken trophy statues. He had commissioned me to do statues for Fat Camp way before
Whoa,
the
he
Fat
must be
Camp.
planning things way in advance, right?
No, wait, it wasn't Fat Camp. It was the first one that they did.
Like the Berry and Boogie stuff and all that.
They did another before Fat Camp. They did something else. Chat
Okay.
will tell me what it is. I can't remember the name of it. But so I did trophies for this other event that they did, and they basically scripted through themselves that it was broken, that I sent it broken. Not only did Keemstar not pay all of it, he only paid half and never paid the other half of the statues. But
Oh,
he
Jesus.
lied about the package, how it arrived. It arrived completely obliterated, like someone stepped on it, and he refused to show the like proof of it live on air. So then he twists this narrative, right? I'm a liar, whatever. And then it
So
became
do you think
this.
he busted them up just so he wouldn't have to pay you or something? Or just to
No,
create
no.
content out of it?
No,
Or
because he was supposed to already pay me. It was like this whole time I kept saying, "Hey, the rest of the money, it's done, it's sent, rest of the money." He admits this down the road to me later, after helping me fix my business, because I was known as a broken statue lady. So then I lose moderator at this point. You know, it's going back and forth, like off again kind of thing on like my relationship with him. And we were kind of always bickering, but like I could tell that like he didn't actually hate me and he likes me around for content. So then when Halloween came around, they did a costume contest and I dressed as the broken statue. I dressed myself as a fat man. And I put like fragile stickers on me, and I was like, it didn't work. You guys can go check that out on my channel. But like, I was like, oh my god, it didn't work. Oh my god. And he loved it. The look on his face, he absolutely loved it. Then I'm going to say it was maybe a week or two after this broken statue incident. And throughout all of this, I had been banned, unbanned, banned, unbanned, made this lie about, but this win. And it's an almost it's very culty, the community.
Oh,
If you
sure,
get a
yeah.
win, everybody loves you. If you get a loss, everybody hates you. It's as
I could
simple as
see
that.
that. Yeah, I could see a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
So eventually though, you get asked to be on this LoCal Queens
Yeah.
show.
So they come with me, and Tina had already been picked, and the show was decided to be around Tina, right? So then they come to me and they say, "Hey, I have Tina for the show." And I watched Kid Behind the Camera, like I watched Angry Grandpa, not Kid Behind the Camera, but Angry
Angry
Grandpa.
Grandpa, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Kid
a
Behind the
wild
Camera,
lady too.
Tina,
That's
I didn't really watch them, but like I knew of them. So
mhm.
I'm like, "Whoa." And then I had said to my boyfriend at the time, I don't think I should do it. Like with how everything has been in the past, they're going to use me for content. Something's going to whatever. And they had came with me under the pretense that Queens would be every other day or twice a week. And it would be 3 girls covering lolcow girl content, not 3 girls turning themselves into lolcows.
And 3 girls just I don't know, I was fascinated with that show from a like Jerry Springer perspective because to me
Yeah.
it was like, is the whole point of this show for these girls to just yell and scream at each other for 2 hours every show? That's kind of what a lot of it was, right?
Yeah.
Just like, and a lot of people are asking me, and I have to ask you this question, and I get it if you don't want to dish too much, but how much of Keem's content is scripted, and how much of the lolcow queens is scripted or pre-planned, or because there's a lot of accusations that it's all fake and scripted, and I know Becky got caught with an actual script, like she
So
shared the wrong
luckily,
screen or something, and she's like, "Here's the
yeah,
script," and it's
yeah.
like spontaneously yell at Tina, spontaneous,
Um,
like.
So real quick, can you read my deadpan? How are you a lolcow? I still don't get it. I'm not a lolcow. I was supposed to cover lolcow. That's why it was
Supposed
the
to, yeah.
lolcow queens. It was supposed to be queens covering lolcow. But essentially, thankfully, I'm not under NDA. It's all scripted. It's all scripted.
It's
Before
all
I ever,
scripted, all of it.
90% of it is scripted between certain people. So like my statues getting broken was scripted between Keem, Boogie, and Wings. Becky getting fired was scripted between Keem, Kid Behind the Camera, Tina, and Grace. But me and Becky didn't know. That's why in the incident when you saw, I was willing to give up my job for her because I didn't fucking know it was a script. And I actually felt bad that it got turned and she got fired out of the drop of a hat because I knew she needed the job, right?
And that girl's weird too. Like, does she really have a Harvard degree? And what the hell is she doing this if she really has a degree from Harvard?
I don't know if it's real, but like, girl, if I had a Harvard degree, I would not be doing this.
She
I'm just saying.
seems like a spoiled rich girl. Like her
She
parents had
really
money or
does.
something.
She
So
really does.
I believe she does probably have it until
Yeah.
proven otherwise. So
But
bizarre. And it's not a huge.
when
I'm
I
sorry.
first had gotten fired and I like was exempt from the community and they hardcore like exiled me, I leaked a lot of the scripts. I leaked a lot of it, including most recently in that call with Keem, they admit that Becky shaving her head was scripted.
Wow. Yeah.
So
it's no surprise to me because, I grew up with Jerry Springer, and I
yeah,
even knew somebody that worked on that show for a time who told me like they would coach everybody on Jerry Springer what to say, what to do. I kind of felt like that all of Keem's content is like that. And I don't like that myself, but like I understand, I guess, if it makes
yeah.
money, he's just generating drama, but it's all fake drama. It's not,
But if they just were honest about it, it would go over better than the constant lying and trying to hide it. That's my issue with it. Is like if you came on and you knew that my goal when they hired me, Keem said to me, I want you to be dramatic. I want you to start drama. I want you to record things. I want you to leak things. I want you to be snaky, and I will pay you. That's how he came to me. That's how Drama Queen Linx came about. He made, like, I had to make a Twitter for lolcow queens, and he said, make your name Drama Queen Linx. And then I had a Twitter following with a bunch of people on lolcow live, and it's like, well, now I can't really change my brand name because I'm known as Drama Queen Linx now, so I just stuck with it, you know?
I want to take a moment. We will take a moment to thank some people like Robert P. just gifted 10 True Seekers memberships. Big ups. Thank you for the kindness, generosity, and support. That's why, friends, you have to be a subscriber, because when people gift these memberships, they get randomly distributed to people who are subscribers but not yet members. Thank you, Robert P., the MVP of praising the cash tonight. So, did you feel like this while you were doing this? I know you were getting paid. I hope you were getting paid well, but I don't know. But did you
Nope.
feel like, no, you weren't getting paid too well?
I didn't get hired long. Okay, so anytime on Queens, including when Queens was on lolcow live, I didn't get paid for shit all. I didn't get paid a single cent for my Queens work. I got $1,000 point blank for 1 month working as Keem's personal assistant, and then he fired me halfway through my second month where he did the whole band thing. And I was
And he
supposed to get,
banished you, Linx.
yeah,
He banished you.
he banished me like I was a
It's like
fucking
getting
demon.
shunned, like the Amish. It really is
Oh my
culty,
god.
right? And you know, I know how that works because it's the same thing in the UFO community. Like if you piss off the wrong person, somebody makes some phone calls and you're not welcome anywhere again, and nobody will, come on your
Yeah.
show or talk to you even. They're not allowed. Did
Yeah.
you experience it like that? Like people weren't allowed to
Oh,
speak to you, or
100%. And then when Tina and Becky were still talking to me, they got penalized. And it's like, okay, he's painting me, he's exiling me from the community, right? With this idea that I'm like this insane doxer, I'm like this crazy person, I'm genuinely dangerous, right? Why was 6 of his hosts still talking to me up until a month ago when they got the final, if I see anything, you're fired immediately on the spot, no ifs, ands, and buts?
wow?
Why were they still talking to me if I'm this like crazy manipulative doxer, I'm dangerous and all this stuff? Why were 6 of his hosts still talking to me? Make it make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Including himself, because he called me asking me to come on my face.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get into that, and but so so the lolcow queen stuff, you got fired essentially because you were following somebody that was like, isn't that Grace's ex-boyfriend that stalked her or
No,
something?
I had Grace's dad joined the Discord, and I had him as a friend because I have over 2,000 people as a friend on Discord. I add everyone. He friend requested me, I added him, and I forgot to just remove him as a friend once he was banished from the Discord. And because I didn't remove him as a friend, I got fired.
Didn't he
Even
get
though
in trouble because he
Keemstar,
kept trying to inject himself into the lolcow
yeah,
queen stuff, and
yeah.
Keem was like, "No, Dad, on the show." Like,
Yes, and then Grace got fired because her dad walked behind the camera, and they immediately kicked her out and fired her for it.
wow, yeah, that's just bizarre. Like, well, that whole Grace situation. And by the way, you pissed them off recently too, right? And did you hear Grace? And Grace made a video recently that she's suing Keemstar because, and maybe this is a good thing. I don't know. Not that I wish anybody to get sued, but apparently, when you leaked all these DMs and everything and these phone calls, Keem essentially confirmed that he got her channels nuked,
Both on
right?
YouTube and Kick. Yep.
And that really is what Grace referred to as torturous interference. You're not allowed to disrupt somebody's business with lies like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Which I could sue him for what he did to me, because I have proof. Like what he
wow.
did to my business at the start of this, I had proof.
Yeah, if your business is shipping people, 3D printed products and he's saying that you screwed that up, I could see how people would be hesitant to buy, you know, buy any products
Absolutely.
that you're shipping. So, did he apologize for that, or like, cuz this seems like this was all
He said
KFAB, like he
he
just
said
made up this whole
he
broken
said
statues thing.
when I had asked him and I said, like, listen, I'm taking care of my grandfather. I needed a stay-at-home job, so I started this business. I fell in love with it. I had a business before where I made like ashtrays, but I do both now, but more so the 3D printing. And I said, like, you're really affecting my livelihood. Like, I need this. I can't work a 9 to 5 and take care of my grandfather.
And by
It's
the way,
impossible.
Links, just so that you know, I'm in the exact same boat as you. I have a nonverbal autistic son, so I have to work at home.
Yeah,
So when I saw that you were taking care of your grandpop, I felt like, oh, this girl's going through a lot of the same stuff that I'm going through. You have to be able to be home to do that
exactly.
caretaker role. And I mean, my wife is tremendous and helps out a lot, but she can't be home all the time. So, yeah, you got
Exactly.
to have a home-based business in order to have the freedom to do the caretaker role.
Exactly.
So did he
And
do anything to try to help you fix what he screwed up?
he said, it won't matter because you'll be making thousands a month off lolcow.
But then he didn't pay you for that. It was just rolled into your
Nope.
$1,000 a month thing.
So
Yeah,
essentially, my payment for Queens was the equipment I am using right now because I didn't stay on Queens. He said, fine, you don't have to show up on Queens anymore. Because when I was fired, I still showed up on Queens while I was his personal assistant
I
because
noticed. Yeah.
Mike would ask me and Keem would ask me, hey, Becky's killing this fucking show. I can show you the messages. They're like, Becky's killing the show. Get on there. And I'm like, okay. And what wasn't scripted is what I did. I hated Becky. I genuinely fucking hated Becky for what she did
Well,
to me.
isn't that her function on the show? Like people tune in to see people shit
Not
all
like what
over
she
her.
did to me. She told the whole Discord to go and like find my disability worker and mass call him and report that I'm scamming the government, even though I had never even received a check at that point yet to scam the government from. Because you're allowed to work, be on disability, and the
Yeah,
government,
and
right?
just so you know, my sister-in-law is disabled and she's on
Right.
disability, but she works a certain
Yeah,
amount
you're allowed to
every
make a certain
week.
amount.
Yeah,
Yeah. Otherwise, if you make like over a certain amount, they just
they
take it
cut
off
the
the next
disability
paycheck.
check. Did that? So
Like
did
they just
this?
take it off the next paycheck. At
Did
least
this?
here.
Did this affect your disability payments or?
Yes.
Oh, that's
I
terrible.
due to this, I actually lost the on top payment, so now they will only help me pay my rent. And it's like only half of my rent that they'll help pay because I lost like the regular because I was getting paid room and board and I was also getting paid for like food and stuff as well.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that they screwed with your income like that. That's kind of vicious, right? I mean, it's all fun and
They
games.
went
Like
as far as calling my grandfather's veteran affair.
Jesus Christ.
Like
Yeah,
that's
this
how
is.
disgusting this community is. And Becky was laughing about it. That's why I fucking hated her. She also outed like and made fun of my disability and my hearing aids. And listen, I'm a retard. I will admit that. Let's laugh about that. But let's not sit there and like call me a retard over and over and over again. At that point it gets degrading, right? And
Yeah,
she said at one point I have fetal alcohol and she had made the comment, no wonder why your mother drank
nice. Yeah,
live on air,
she's a
and then
piece.
she would like
She's a
use
piece of
whatever she
shit,
could
that girl.
against me.
And wasn't she like greedy as hell? Like she wanted more money and she wanted $1,000 for wardrobe. Like
Yeah,
you don't have
and then
clothes to wear
she
on
tried to
stream?
throw me under the bus, and when she brought up the $1,000 for wardrobe, I had already spent my savings buying wardrobe, which we needed to get for the show, which Keem did pay back. He did pay back. So he paid me back for the wardrobe, but I never got an actual like here's this money for being on Queens. And the $1,000 I got was for my 1 month of simply just being his personal assistant. So it was 1,000 USD that I got for a month of work, and that was me working from 9 to 8 usually.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, Keem's a big spender, it looks like. And the thing with the disability, and by the way, I have a disability, and I have a paralyzed eye, which is why I wear the glasses, just so that I don't, think about it, or my wonky eye looks weird, or, when people attack me for that, I'm always like, maybe you can go make fun of some kids in wheelchairs next. Like, it's so
Yeah,
cringe
it's
to
so
make fun of somebody's
disgusting.
disability because you can't change that, Links. Like, that's just the way it is, and you have to deal with it. And it's difficult enough dealing with the disability. and especially like, no offense, but a big fat girl like that busting on you for being disabled. Like, I used to love when you would tell her, like, bitch, eat a salad, right? And it's whoa, how do you say that? Satrikic Talks with $5 Australian. Hey, from Australia. Finally got a live in my time zone. Well, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. I'll try to weave them in if we get some more. So you get fired from LocAl Live, but you're still going on as the personal assistant. At what point does he fire you from that role?
So I fired myself from being personal assistant, but still going on LocAl Queens because I said, I'm not getting paid for it. You're making me do even more work on top of being a personal assistant. And I said, I don't have time for my business. In which he goes, if I give you 300 extra a month, so now 1,300 a month, will you quit your business? I said, no. I said, it has nothing to do with the money. It helps my anxiety. It saved me. Like when my grandmother died, it's the thing I turned to. It's the only thing that saved me in life. Like on a genuine note, seeing people's reaction, that saved my life. And so I told him that, and he said,
It's a good source of self-esteem for you.
it
Like, I've
is.
seen
It is.
people
Seeing
like,
people's reaction, right?
yeah, you're great at the painting of the figures and stuff. I just watched one where you're, I think it was it Tomb Raider girl? I can't remember what the figure you were painting recently was, but that stuff's, it's therapeutic to do
Yeah.
art
Buffy
too.
the
So
Vampire Slayer, I was
Buffy the Vampire
painting.
Slayer, that's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah. So it's kind of therapeutic for you to do that kind of art and make a little bit of money. I think
Yeah.
it's unreasonable for him to just go, well, I'll give you $300 more. Just give up your whole business you've been building for years and years. That seems a little odd. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I
It
get,
goes back to him wanting to control me, to be able to say, I need this done. I need you to do it right now. Because, like, the day in the life of what I was doing is I would wake up, I would go through Twitter, I would go, okay, this is trending, send it to the docket team. Then I would work with the docket team in order to make a docket. When I was done the docket, I would go do a paint stream, and while I'm doing a paint stream, I would listen to LocAl Live. When LocAl Live was over, I would go and like, if there's anyone I wanted on the show, I would go watch their live super chat with my own money to get them to notice me and say,
jeez.
hey, I work for Keemstar. I can show you like my cameo, for example. That's how I got Foodie Beauty on the show. That's how I got all of these like, and Girl World was huge for LocAl Live. Getting that audience involved, I did that.
Yeah, and I
I
have to say,
100% did that.
also, it's kind of a good strategy to get a female to go book guests because most of the guests are male and they
Yeah.
respond better. Like one of the, I hate booking guests. Like you were easy, right? But you know how some guests you got to back and forth and back and forth. So you kind of quit yourself then from
Yeah,
being his
from
assistant.
Queens. I when he was still having me on Queens but not paying me, and then also wanting me to give more and more and more of my time, that's when I was like, okay, I gotta stick up for myself. I can't. Like I simply cannot do this. And he said, fine, you can't work with Becky. You're off Queens because Becky would always try and sabotage and say that I did it. And then I didn't. I wanted to be able to do my job without being hated by the community. So then Queens was over with. I did not have to cover Queens or do anything on Queens. So I would just do the docket, make AI songs, and post to the social medias, and also get guests on, right? And I was kind of the marketing slash like ideas person slash follow Keem, record his meetings, take notes, and then after like an hour meeting, was to like send him, this is what went on in the meeting. So then it came to the point where it kind of wasn't working. Once I told him I would not give up my business for him, he started like being very rude, very short with me, and like constantly having an attitude with me. And I
Oh,
kind of I didn't notice at the time. Now I think it's because I wouldn't give up my business. I think it's because he realized this girl, although I was willing to do whatever it took and I really believed in the project, I wasn't willing to give up my business. It's something I needed to ground myself. And I put my foot down on that. And he did not like that. He did not take to that kindly. And then next thing I know, someone's trying to break into my Discord, right? So my Discord is now locked for 48 hours due to like safety measures. And Keem spins this narrative, oh, her Discord's being closed because she was caught doxing someone and it's being investigated by Discord. No, you know what happened? Someone tried to get in my Discord and it automatically locked it for safety reasons.
That happened once to me in my Discord. Yeah.
Like, safety reasons. During, after, and before, I had good standings. If your Discord is being investigated by Discord, you would not get it back, one, in 2 days, and two, you would not have that, like, bar that says good standing. They would also
Yeah,
text
and
you, let
besides
you know.
a group of people who dox people all the time, who are threatening people's disability checks and calling people's, your grandpop's VA people, like they're complaining because you may have doxed somebody. Like it's pretty
Yeah.
hypocritical, and he seems like a sort of a puppet master character to me. Like
Yeah,
in order to make his thing work, he has to be manipulative and manipulate people into doing what he
he
needs
does.
to make the money, right?
He does. And I was sick of it. I was honestly sick of it. So then it became, oh, well, Linx's Discord is being under investigation. She didn't work that well. She wasn't good at working. She wasn't good at working, even though prior to, you watched LOCAL Live. How many times did he praise me as a personal assistant? A
Yeah,
lot.
I
The
remember him
only
doing that.
person
Yeah.
who has ever been praised as much as a worker on LOCAL Live was me, because I did a damn good job and I gave him everything I could except my business.
Wow, this is a good comment. This is from Germ70, and thanks for the super chat. Says Keem wants to run his live streaming projects like a legitimate business without any of the labor laws and without any guarantees and adequate pay. And thanks for
I believe that
recognizing it.
100% because when I
Me
was
too.
hired on, there was no contract other than an NDA, which was not enforceable due to me being in Canada, and it was not an international NDA, and it was also not the information in order to make it credible was not correct. It was like he didn't fill out the address on it, so it has blank.
Very
Yeah,
convenient. Very convenient. And also, like the hours that you were doing, I don't know, to me, like I'm a small business owner. $1,300 for somebody's, he wanted your complete and total slavery and attention for $1,300 a month. And that seems a little crazy to me. But, like again, I think he makes a lot of money by manipulating a lot of people and paying them not much. I mean, I know I'm also aware of like the Dark Side Phil thing. Like he offered Dark Side Phil like what $5,000 or something to be on
yeah,
the show, and but he would have expected Phil to only do that show. That's why Phil didn't do it, I think, because Phil's
yeah,
like
yeah.
addicted to his schedule. So he,
And that's the thing. Oh, chat saying 50K.
oh, 50K. All right, but that was for a year though. Like, and Phil makes 150 a year on his
Yeah,
own, so it's not. That doesn't seem like a good deal. And you know what's funny is I talked to him a while ago when he got into the UFO thing, but it was very clear that he wanted somebody to help him make clickbait and cash in on UFOs. And I'm like the skeptic guy that busts all the frauds, so that wasn't going to work. But he did hire two people in the UFO world that I'm friendly with, and they had a horrific experience working for him. Just horrific. And the same kind of thing I heard from them. Like they weren't supposed to do their own shows anymore. They were only supposed to do the Skyfire News to
yeah.
to generate him revenue, and they weren't. I don't know what happened. In fairness to
So
Keem, but yeah.
the other thing is with and I 100%, I'm not gonna lie, I fully took advantage of the opportunity. And although I had done YouTube like randomly, like I uploaded a song or
This is going to get you big
yeah,
boosts. So yeah.
I fully like went into doing YouTube before I did like time lapses on TikTok. And I just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna turn on a stream. I'm gonna talk to the stream. First stream I ever did on YouTube, 200 people in the chat concurrent.
Yeah,
And I
God
was like,
bless
hi
you. Yeah.
everyone. Like I was doing great. So I was streaming at the time, and I think that's why he could tell Tina, Becky, you can't stream because they were doing lolcow content or talking about queens. What I was doing was painting figures.
Yeah, which
So
is
how are you going to tell me I can't stream when I'm not doing anything related to your show and I'm painting my figures, right? So
yeah.
I think that's why he wanted me to stop painting figures, because then what would I have to stream? He would
Well,
have control over
also
it.
he must not know many artists, because telling an artist just stop doing art You know, like
It
I
doesn't
have a lot
work.
of artist friends. I'm a songwriter. Like somebody tell me stop writing songs, I would never do. Like this is just who I am. You're like an artist. So that's just bizarro that he would do that. And so you get kind of banished and, but then he starts coming back to you for whatever reason. And now we get this situation. I want to get into the situation with the nudes because, and don't take this the wrong way, because look, I'm probably old enough to be your father, but like I'm a little concerned for you for a few reasons. Okay. First of all, you should know that I have a sister in law who has a mental disability. And she
Okay.
reminds me a lot like you, like she's very talented in some other areas. But if we let her, my wife's family has to be very careful, or there was a point. Now she's married, so she's fine. But like there was a point where we had to be very careful in order to make sure that men were not taking advantage of her. So you have this situation with these nudes, and the nudes were leaked. What
Yeah. So
do you
prior
know?
to,
Do you
pri-
know who you sent those nudes to that leaked them?
yeah. So I'll explain. But prior
Okay.
to, I had just gotten out of a 5-year relationship, and it was incredibly toxic. And he R-worded me, and he pimped me out to his friends,
Oh,
and
I'm so
all,
sorry to
all
hear
this
that.
thing. So yes, I was being taken advantage of by my ex, and yes, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a mental thing. I think it's just a me thing where I do tend to get it taken advantage of in general in most situations, or taken for granted, or I give too much of myself to someone who doesn't appreciate it. That being said, the nudes were sent to my ex over Discord. Now, Lord Rush, an ex moderator or a current moderator of LCAL Live, has bragged multiple times on LCAL Live about how he can see people's DMs on Discord because he has Discord connections. One time during a meeting, I wasn't falling in line, and he said, like, do I need to leak your nudes to get you to like throw down a peg? And we had this like weird conversation. Keemstar wasn't there, but it was me and two of the other mods, like Ken and Brady or something. And it was this weird like conversation where he had threatened my nudes and said like I can see them. And then when the whole Wings Discord thing showed up, he showed me messages in my DMs that I was talking about the Discord to try and one up something I was saying, because I wasn't telling the full truth about a situation because I didn't really think it mattered whether the Discord was deleted or like everyone was kicked out of it kind of thing, because I was just going to rebuild a different Discord, not in Wings' name. The point being, he has multiple times, both privately and publicly, stated that he has Discord connections. My nudes then got leaked in a bunch of like rotating kind of LolCal Live related Discords. And it was mine, it was Grace Thorp's, it was LolCal Live, I believe it was Ruby's Discord, like a bunch of mutual Discords. Someone dropped a picture and they basically said something along the lines of like, I told you I can see your Discord DMs, you stupid bitch, and like calling me names.
Oh, just to be
So
clear, so the thing is then that he was somehow able to access your DMs and you had
yeah,
sent nudes through these DMs in some Discord.
in like my Discord account, I had sent them to my ex over a year ago. So they're like year-old nudes. And I had sent them to him over a year ago
Okay.
when we were like sexting over Discord or something. And that was the only time, because I was in a 5-year relationship, the only place that I had nudes on. And we used Discord to talk. We didn't use anything else. So I had like all our nudes on
And so
Discord.
the ones that were linked were those ones that you sent to an
Yes.
ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
At the
Which
time, he
is
was your
either
current boyfriend.
Lord Rush looking into my DMs, leaking them, or my ex either posting them himself or sending them to someone who posted them.
Wow.
So then I'm freaking out and I'm like crying. I'm hysterical. I'm like, I don't want them to think they won. Like, I'm tired of, I'd just gotten out of this relationship and I just felt like I lost, like all my voice is being stripped from me.
You're trying
So
to take
I
your
said,
power back. Yeah,
yeah,
and this happens.
I said,
I
you
can
know what?
imagine it's pretty humiliating. Like I don't take nudes, I don't send nudes, but I can imagine it's kind of humiliating and you feel pretty
Yeah, and
vulnerable.
not even that I'm ashamed of my body, but just like I had been against like OF girls my entire life. I'm like, if that's your last resort, fine. But like that's not something I would do. I've always said I wouldn't do it, and I wasn't very like it didn't make sense to do it to me. Like, it felt humiliating to put your body out there for money. So I was like, you know what? In this case, I would have never done it, but fuck it. They want me to be humiliated. They want to use this against me. So I posted it on Twitter and I said, you're not going to keep me quiet. This isn't the flex you think it is. Like, yeah, okay, I have nice tits, your point, kind of thing. And then that is when 2 hours after I made this Twitter post where my nudes were on Twitter, and mind you, the photo's kind of blurry, so like to actually see the photo, you have to click on it, and you would need like the real photo to like actually get the full picture. So as far as like nudes, like it was like a blurry essential nude because it was a screenshot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal.
So
It wasn't a
that's
big
yeah.
deal.
Like, so anyways, then 2 hours after I post this, Keemstar reaches out to me, says, there's no way that this is my moderator. He would never do anything like that. If you never ever need anything, let me know, hit me up. We essentially get talking, and I was drunk for the very first time, and this was probably 2 hours after I had like drank for the first time. So like I wasn't like pissed drunk, but like I was drunk kind of thing. And I told him that. And then he asked me to call him. And then when I first came out about what happened, I hadn't listened again to the call. So when I listened to the call, it was very uncomfortable. I had essentially trauma dumped, telling him about my ex and what happened, how we're currently fighting eviction, and all this stuff that was going on. I had told him all that, and then he essentially asked to see my titties to make sure they were real, not AI.
Now, just to be clear, too, he was completely already aware because you were being made fun of for it by the lolcow queen girls. Like, he's completely aware of your disability and your
100%. There was a call that we had, like right before I got fired, where I told him I was legally retarded, and he's like, "Wait, you're retarded?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I don't know if this will pick up.
Apparently, I hired a retard.
Does that pick up?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
You heard it? Will your chat hear it? But that's a clip
they heard
from
it.
that
Bradley,
call.
I hired a retard. Nice.
This is what he
guy.
said when I told him I was legally retarded.
Apparently, I hired a retard.
Yeah, then why is he asking somebody in your position for nudes? Because, like, look, I just want to put this on the record. Like, not all guys. Look, you know, I've been married for a very long time, but I used to be a horn dog, and like, you know, like men do stupid shit, but a good man will recognize when a girl is disabled and just leave that alone. Like, not because as a man, you know, you might even if you're not, you might be misconstrued as taking advantage of this girl because maybe mentally she's not all there and will just send you the nudes, where you know, somebody unaffected by whatever your disability is would go, well, wait a minute, these might come out later, or you might leak them or whatever. So he's asking you late at night when you're both drinking for nude photos. And I remember even the quote, he wanted fresh ones, not the year-old ones. So he wanted you to just drop what you're doing, make some nudes for him.
What do I reply with? It's 6 a.m. I'm not taking fresh nudes for you. That's what I reply with.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Wow. So that, and did you get the impression, because a lot of people are saying this, that he was kind of like trying to reel you back in, and if you just play ball and do what he wants, then you get your job back, or you get back to the unbanished kind of thing? Because that's also kind of slimy if he's holding that over you. Like,
yeah, all I wanted was to get unbanished. I said that in the call. I said, I know there's no way I can come back. I don't want to come back. I just want it to be, you know, neutral, Switzerland. But it wasn't until after that I saw what people saw when they said he was insinuating if I got sexual with him, there's a way back. That I didn't see at the time. I don't know. I personally don't know my thoughts on it. I don't feel like I'm in the place to comment about it, because if I say one thing, I'm only saying that because I want to look like a victim. If I say another, I'm only saying that because I don't want to look like a victim. So I feel like no matter what I say, it's a lose-lose. But in that exact moment, I did not think, oh, if I have sex with him, he's gonna give me my job back. Like that's not what I thought in that exact moment. In that exact moment, I thought this is good. Eventually, he's just gonna let it be fine. He's gonna let our community be able to, interact again, and it'll be fine. I won't even have to talk about lolcow because he would have mended the bridge, which I kept saying I wanted the bridge mended. I wanted it simple, no beef, no
Yeah,
issue.
you just didn't want to
Yeah.
be the redheaded stepchild anymore that wasn't welcome
Yeah. I didn't want to
around.
be
And
Voldemort anymore. I just wanted to be Linx. A lot
yeah,
of
I
people
noticed they
didn't
call
like
you that.
that.
Like, I don't understand the reference, but Tig Old Biddy with Kind of Generous too says, "Love to see you here, Links. Don't let them use you," and
Thank
I agree.
you.
So at some point, though, we skipped over, and I'm just going to say this for the Gooners because it's good for you, for your business, I guess. I put Lynx's link tree. It's pinned into the live chat in
Oh.
YouTube. So, Lynx, you basically, these nudes were leaked, and then you went, I'm going to put them on Patreon for $50 and let the Gooners goon, right?
Yeah, so I live on air, right? My chat comes up with this idea and I'm like, you guys are brilliant. Let me just post these on Patreon behind a paywall. So they were not like new photos, they were old photos between me and my ex. So I just put them all on Patreon and I made 6K in the last, what has it been? 3, 4 days? 4 days?
Wow. Yeah, good for you. But I did
8K on Patreon. And
wow, since they're already out there and people are going to get them
right?
anyway,
Why not?
maybe that was the right move, right? But wouldn't that also mean that a lot more people are going to see them and be passing them around? Because
Not necessarily, because now, like, and it was the same thing with Becky. Once you've done it and you've been associated with lolcow, once you search it up, it's going to be there on the internet. Like, I know once it's on the internet, it's going to be there forever. There's
yeah, you're
like
probably right.
sites that
Yeah.
are probably already have it somewhere on the internet. And this person was still going to continue to leak them. And if they continue to leak them in these Discord servers and make these alt accounts in these Discord servers and leak them, the same situation would have happened anyways. They would have been out there.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Charles McDonald with a kind of generous 6 says locales are loathsome, and I agree with you. And Chill Station 7 with one for the goal says the potato has been mashed. Yeah, you can't unmash the potato. So listen, you gooners, give this girl some money. If you could go right to her Patreon. And by the way, I just want to mention to you, like, really cards on the table. I'm being honest here, like, because I noticed that you sent them to Ethan Ralph. And
Yes.
so, like, listen, I got a really jealous wife. Please don't ever send them to
No,
me. Don't
no.
ever send
I'm
links
gonna
to
be
me.
completely
Don't
honest.
ever, yeah, don't do that.
I didn't at
I
the
don't want to
moment.
get murdered over having you as a guest
No,
here,
I would
Links.
never do that. It was simply, and I've been very honest about this, it was simply just a marketing strategy.
Well, you made $6,000. Good for you.
He made me alone in that shout out 1K. That night after he shouted me out, I made an extra 1K just off
Well,
his
let's
little
hope we can
gooning
make
talk.
it that. But listen, again, listen, I know you don't know me, but like, I'm a little concerned for you in this situation because you're sending nudes to Ethan Ralph. You know, he got convicted for revenge porn and
I
leaking
didn't know
nudes.
any of this at the time, no.
Okay. All right. Well, now you know. So listen,
Yeah.
just just be very careful because I listened to you on his show and I feel like he's kind of he's playing you like a little bit. Like he's not who he pretended to be to you. Like I think he's just be careful. I think the guy's
Yeah.
dangerous. I wouldn't have him on my show and he freaked out and sent all these weirdo attackers to me, like, because I just said, no, I don't want to. This guy's not interesting. Like Phil's story's
I will
interesting.
say,
Your
like,
story's interesting. His story, it's like some of the criminal degenerates I grew up with in Philadelphia. Like I don't think his story is very interesting. So just be
I will
careful when it
say,
comes
like,
to
the
him.
interview that he did with me, it made me feel very hopeful for interviews in the future because I do think he really brought out like who I was and asked me questions that were
Yeah, no,
important to me.
I'll give him that. It was
Yeah, it was
but
a good interview. Like whether you like the dude or not. I mean, I'm
yeah, I'm
still
just not a
learning.
fan. Yeah.
There's a bunch of people that I don't know the lore about, like Casino, you, There's still some Keemstar lore that I don't even know about, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
there's still
I'm
a
at a
lot.
loss. I'm at a loss myself and playing catch up trying to get into this stuff
Yeah,
because I'm so sick of my usual content and I started doing the Phil stuff and it went so good, so it's like,
yeah,
well, we'll get into a little more of this. But
yeah,
I just want you to be careful because
absolutely.
when you send nudes, especially like to a guy like
Again, they were
that,
already
like
out there at this point.
I
They were
get it,
already out.
but
Yeah,
sending nudes to a guy who's been convicted of revenge porn is kind of a bad idea. And Germ70 with 5 says, general reminder: read your contracts, look up your bosses, don't trust anything that involves the internet. Make the money fun you can make and run. Yeah, go on, take the money and run.
and that's why I'ma just do content where I'm painting my figures, occasionally talking about like drama here and there or what's going on. Like if people ask me what my opinion is on this, I'll answer it. But that's pretty much it. Like
Yeah.
I'm very content, and I've said it multiple times. I'm very content with what I have now. And as long as I keep what I have now, I'll be happy because I like just being able to talk to chat when I'm painting my figures. I don't care
And
if
yeah,
you
I've
call me
tuned
a
in.
couple viewers.
I like your
Yeah.
streams because they're chill and like sometimes, like this week, I'm doing the most boring administrative shit for my show. I'm downloading 1,500 videos from YouTube just to make sure that I have everything I've ever put on YouTube
Yeah.
because I have a backup, but it's years old. So sometimes I just listen to chill streams like what you do or other people. I like that stuff, and
Yeah.
you don't, but don't be willing to just say what I have now is enough. Like you should be growing. I think you're going to grow and do very well. You just keep at it. But back to the Keem drama. So I watched this. So he asked you for the nudes. He tells you, pardon my French, but I have to say it. Like he said he wanted to come on your face and glaze you like a donut and pop the pee and all this stuff. Like a lot of people are kind of torn though, like because you seem kind of receptive to this stuff when you were talking to him. At least did you kind
Yeah.
of regret it later and say like, no, I'm not into this, or I don't
Well,
want
I
to do
mean,
this, or
was I? Because I was laughing the whole time, and there was even a few points where I called him out, and I'm like, okay, you're ridiculous, like, or oh, you're twisting my words. Like, I regret the conversation, and I wish the conversation never had happened. But I am glad that it happened due to the fact that it just cleaned up my reputation and proved that he had no proof of the grounds of which he banned me for.
yeah. And it seems like your leaks have had some ripples. Like Grace got the confirmation that Keem actively. That's a vicious. There's an unwritten rule among content creators, like you don't attack somebody else, another content creator's channel.
Yeah.
Like I've had people take my stream, not do anything transformative, and just put it on their channel. I've never copyright striked somebody or anything. I might email them like, "Hey, don't do that." At least talk over it or do commentary over what But I
Yeah,
would never
exactly.
attack another YouTube uh, channel. So for him to do that is like that's the worst thing you could do as a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's just
It's shitty, and especially since he admits it straight up, right?
Yeah, that's a shitty thing to do. He just didn't like what she was saying, talking trash, so he decided to get her channels nuked. Is that basically the gist of what happened?
He got her channel deleted, both her channels on YouTube deleted and her Kick deleted.
Wow. Wow. Well, hopefully, due to your leak, she'll be able to go back to YouTube and say, like, something's not right here, and you guys need to fix this, right?
Yeah, she is back. She is back on YouTube and stuff. Surprisingly, the influence that he thought he had, he didn't have because she ended up getting it back and he didn't even know.
Okay. Well, that's good news, I guess. Regardless of what I think of Grace and her creepy dad, like, that's a weird situation. But regardless of what I think of her, I'm glad that, like she's going to get her channel back because
Yeah.
nobody deserves that for whatever reason, And so after all this conversation and stuff, like, it seems like, did he just leave it like, oh, I'm going to fly you to my house and, then we'll consummate this or something?
He
Like,
he left it on the note of I want you to send me fresh nudes in the morning. And you're gonna do that. And then actually, if I send you a screenshot, are you able to pull it up?
yeah. If you send it to me on Twitter, I can pull it right up.
Okay, let me just. This is the last thing that he said to me after that night. Sorry, I have to go to this group because he made a secret group chat so my icon wouldn't show when he was live on air.
Nice.
I had to go to the group. Do, do, do.
Yeah, and I noticed from his Cope stream that he just kind of blew this off that he was just flirting with you, and it wasn't a serious thing, right?
Mm.
It
Well,
seems like
this might make you think otherwise. Where is it? But essentially, like, the end of the conversation was, okay, so this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna make big moves for LCAL Live. You're gonna do things that are good for us. And wow, he unsent it.
well,
Surely I have it somewhere. Um,
no, it's fine. You can, if you dig around and find it, I'll share it. It's enough to describe it. So he's kind of giving you marching orders, like you're going to make nudes,
yeah.
you're going to
You're
do
gonna make
stuff that.
moves. You're gonna do only good things for LCAL Live. You're gonna be good from here on out, and then I'll mend the bridge, is what he said. And he invited me to this like 4th of July party that he does,
Well,
and that was like the
this is
IRL plan that he had made.
this is pretty cultic, like you said, because it's basically like, hey, did you not enjoy being banished and me telling everybody that they're not allowed to talk to you? If you just send me nudes and do what I say, then everything will be okay. That's an asshole move, in my opinion. That's very manipulative, especially
Yeah,
considering your other issues. Like, there's
yeah,
multiple levels, and the fact that he's kind of dangling your job over your head
yep.
too, like sideways. Like, there's just multiple reasons why this is shitty. And what did you think about his cope stream? Because he basically just said, "Well, I was just flirting with her, and it's not a big deal." Like,
I think it's incredibly disgusting because, like, if you literally sit there and you think about it, like, why would he do those things? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
especially for those unaware, I was confused by the fact that he's engaged, but then he kind of said, "Well, she's into that, and she would have." I guess he was kind of saying that she would participate with some kind of sex with you, or
so here's the issue, right?
yeah.
The issue,
Explain
point
this to me
blank.
because I don't
Yeah,
get it. I don't get
this
it.
is the issue. He tells me Brantley's in the room. Remember at the beginning of the call?
Mhm.
Brantley's in the room. Like, let me go ask Brantley if she wants to. Brantley's gonna go to bed. She doesn't want to see your tits. Whatever, right? And then he comes back and he left. There was like a 40-minute period where he had left, done something, and then came back. And when he comes back, he's like, Brantley was secretly sleeping, listening the whole time. She's mad about me, but we talked about it. Essentially, now I have permission. He says, I have permission now to see your chocolate
Hard.
starfish or breast or something, right? And then in the live stream, Brantley comments something like Brantley told him not to do it. Brantley knew she was still recording, but he still did it anyways. Doesn't sound like he had permission. Sounds like he forced his permission.
Yeah, yeah,
And then tells
and
me,
listen, I just want to put on the record that like what happens between consenting adults is one thing, but then when you have the disability issues that you have, I have a problem with that. And then
yeah,
it sounds like maybe she wasn't into it because there's some kind of problems going on now, right? With that situation.
yeah.
So maybe she's
I mean, she hasn't been there. They aren't there. No, I do not.
yeah,
On the mod, yes. Once I figure out who it is, whether it's the mod or the ex-boyfriend, I will be taking legal action.
yeah, so I want to be Tank Man asks Links, do you plan on taking legal action since his mod access does seem to have committed revenge porn against you? Which, by the way, that's a felony, I think.
Yeah.
Like he could be a convicted felon over doing something like that. And thank you for your kindness. I appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. So we see his cope stream and he says it's not a big deal, and then he kind of said like my fiance is into girls
Hmm.
he kind of just absolved himself of you know any responsibility here. right?
Yeah.
Did that piss you off more?
It did because I mean, maybe yes, she's into girls, but he wasn't okay. Like it's clear she wasn't okay with it. They come back after fighting, then she leaves that comment and like if you need, I can send you that comment so you can pull it up. But she says that in real time, like that Brantley told him not to do it, but he didn't listen. So now Brantley's laughing. Like it's clear she was not okay with it. So then why did it happen? Because there, and I will be I will be completely honest, there was never any incidences like this before, prior to. Never indication, never anything like that.
Yeah, and people are saying that he had the whole lolcow verse make it into a joke and play it off like it was nothing. So yeah, I think they kind of just like made it into a joke. Yeah, it's not
And why wasn't she on the stream? Why wasn't she talking about it?
Yeah, oh, that'd be a little awkward though, like being engaged and getting caught doing that, especially if it was against her, you know, if she didn't if she wasn't into it. Because again, consenting adults, whatever people do, like, you know, good for you. If you got a fiance that will let you bring another girl in the bedroom with you two, like, good for you. But
Yeah.
the other issues with the employment and you being banished and your disability, it just kind of makes it icky to me. Like, it just
Yeah.
kind of makes it icky to me.
It's a
Like,
weird situation for sure.
I mean, I've always like, I don't know. I had one corporate job where it was this huge cubicle farm and I was in charge of like 100 people and, you know, a lot of women. I was
Right.
always so careful, like, because I don't want even a comment that I made to be misconstrued as some form of harassment. So,
Right.
you know, you seem like pretty chill, but some women are pretty uptight. So you got to be real careful what you say, you know?
Yeah, and there's a difference between like joking and then like going as far as he did.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then, so explain to me the Grace Thorpe situation because her and her father like freaked out. I think you have the clip on your Twitter. I gotta play that. It's so
Yeah, you
bad.
have to play that, and then after you play it, I'll explain the situation. Actually, I'll explain a little bit leading up to this, but for those of you who don't know, Grace Thorpe was my coworker in Local Queens, and I had always like been on again, off again with her. Like, if it came to something relevant, I would do content with her, but like I didn't really support her. I didn't like her, and then it became a point where she was just constantly talking shit about me, making fun of me and like saying my grandfather was so old he didn't know what was going on, making fun of at the time my trans boyfriend. So we didn't interact, and I stopped like going live with her and stuff.
Yeah, and I have the clip. This is something else. Like, I couldn't believe it when I heard this. I was like, Jesus, you know, like this is something else. So we'll play the clip. Apparently, you pissed them both off pretty big.
You with W here, where, but you say like, well, I just want to neutral. I just want to like pretend it didn't happen and smoke weed. Bitch, that is not going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be an L. So it's up to you.
You're trying to fucking make it like, oh, we see this problem, right? And we're going to try and help you out because we know better than you. Meanwhile, she's made more than you guys fucking made in what, 2 weeks?
Have I honestly ever behaved towards you like Ethan Ralph behaved towards you? Come on, be honest. That kind of shit.
Yes.
Like that kind of shit.
Yes.
Okay, so fuck you, and we're gonna take you fucking down, and you're gonna be on fucking Keno Casino, getting the shit ripped out of you. You fucking prostitute whore. Keep going. Fuck you.
Wow.
Don't worry, Linx. He won't hurt you. I promise
Get
you.
her out of here.
She's gone. And bye-bye.
Fucking lying whore.
Lion whore.
Nothing like sharing a cigarette with your dad. Like, weird.
Rhetorically, bitch. Fuck her.
Stuff.
Fucking
So he just said he was going to get you ass-ard, but then he went rhetorically, like that makes it better.
Protect fucking Ethan fucking Ralph.
Ethan Ralph.
By saying I'm like him. Fuck you, bitch.
Wow. So you must have struck a nerve with them, and now they're on the warpath. And Grace is posting. She's really reveling in this Keemstar leaks, though, that you did, because I guess she's got a big beef with Keemstar too, right? Like,
Yeah. Essentially, so me saying yes to Ben's question that made him freak out is in the Discord. He had said to me, and I quote, and this is somewhere on one of my past lives, so this is recorded. He had said, like, you know, you need a daddy in your life. I know you've never had a daddy. You can sit on my lap while you paint figures. Once you get this dick, like, you'll be all good. You're not
Nice.
wifey
Jesus.
material, but you'd be a good lay. Like, just and more things that I can't say on YouTube. But explicit, disgusting, shouldn't have said it to me. That's why I said yeah. And what they wanted in this video was they wanted me to go to Kino Casino and with the narrative that same with how you feel that Ethan Ralph forced me to send him my news, which did not happen. Like I said, I sent it as like a marketing thing. They were already out there and he was talking about them. So I was like, well, here they are. Like, if you go on my Twitter, they're there kind of thing, right? So I sent it to him.
I
Then he
guess
started
that's
talking
fair.
about it.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. And listen, I'm happy to help you promote that, but I'm going to say it again. Don't send me any links or pictures. Like, no, you got a pretty good marriage, and I don't want to get
And
murdered. I don't want to get
they got
murdered, you
mad
know?
that I made money, and in their eyes, I was a whore, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, again, I get it, okay?
Well,
I
when's the
get
last
people
time
that
they
are
made
desperate.
6K in a week, though, Links? Let's be like,
They
you know,
won't. They
honest.
never have.
Yeah.
8K, but they never have. They never have.
Oh,
And
you're up to 8K for those? Good
I
for
said
you.
8K, yeah.
Yes.
8K just on Patreon and like Patreon and like some people don't have Patreon so they'll send me like PayPal instead. And a lot of people will pay more. They'll tip when they sign up for Patreon. So I have some people paying 200 a month instead of 50. Like it's whatever, you know.
Mine is the same way. Mine's $1, but you can
Yeah.
spend, yeah, some people give me 10 or 15 or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever they decide. Well, I guess good for you. But this situation with the Thorps, like, so that's just them butthurt because you made a
It's
lot of money
them
selling
butthurt
nudes.
that I made a lot of money and because I wouldn't spin the narrative that they wanted. They
I'm
wanted me to
surprised he's
say,
not pimping out his daughter Grace, making her do nudes on
who's
Patreon
gonna
while
pay
you're
for
in
that fucking fat whales picture?
bed.
Nobody wants incest nudes. Thank you very much.
She used to be attractive though, didn't she?
I
I
mean, if you're
think.
into that, her nose will always look like Franklin's.
Oh.
But I mean, if you're into that, the issue is like once you sell yourself as incest to your dad, nobody wants to bang that. Nobody wants to see that. It's as simple as that. Nobody wants to, you know. And now she looks like a fucking whale in a bathing suit, and she's not flattering at all. Ever since LolCow Queens, down the toilet, down the
Total
toilet.
MK. Ben Thorpe is a
Degenerate
degenerate
loser.
loser. Yeah, thank you for the translation. I was like, what does that say? And thank you, Tig Old Biddy, for your kindness, generosity, and support. So I'm good. I've been reading them out as we go because I don't want to be here forever trying to read them later. And people want you, I think they want you to react. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I
So,
appreciate you guys sending in super chats to Truth Seeker. Really appreciate it.
yeah, so explain to me the Wings of Redemption drama too, because I saw this stream.
Oh,
So talk about, you really are a drama queen, honey, because we got Chill Station 7, Grace Thorpe, more like Grease Thorpe. Yeah, I don't
I
find her
I
attractive.
think that deserves a
Fatality.
I don't find her attractive, but I know a lot of guys goon over
yeah.
her, and I don't get it sometimes. I'm like, you know, must be a lot of desperate dudes out there. But it's weird. Her driving around with her dad and like living in a van with her dad, it's just kind of weird to me because
Yeah.
they seem oddly comfortable with each other. Like she's sitting around him in panties and stuff, and that's her dad. So it seems weird.
Licking her panties and doing shit like that on air.
Yeah, Lord Ludacris, check out Cyrix, aka Chancey Wilkins.
Cyrax?
Cyrax, yeah. I guess he's pointing me to Cyrax. That's another rabbit hole. So I'm sorry,
I know what he looks like, but that's all I know about him.
we're gonna do the Wings of Redemption. First, what did you think about? Do you think that him pushing his wife down like that was staged on
No, I
purpose?
think that was 100% real, and that's why Keem said, like, in the call, he's not coming back. He can't because of what happened. As for, like, everything in the past, like, on LCAL, I think that was all staged. But I do think that incident at Fat Camp was real.
Wow. And what did you think when you saw that? Were you surprised by it?
I was disgusted by it, honestly. There is no reason that should have happened. The car one, I'm a little less like, okay, it's slapping a hand, whatever. But like seeing that, like imagine what happens behind closed doors if you're willing to
If
do
there's
that
no
in
camera,
front
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
camera. Yeah. Like it made me terrified for Kelly. I personally interacting with him, I honestly, I mean, people are very deceiving, honestly. But I've never had an issue with him prior to the issue we're about to talk about. But I never had like any issues with him. He was the only sound mind one and the only one who helped me when they were lying about me, like correct the record.
He seemed like more together than some of them and
Yeah.
less
Yeah.
fakery kind of. So I was
Yeah.
surprised. I was surprised to see him do that to his wife because it's like you said, if he's doing that on camera,
What's he
like
doing behind the scenes?
what's he doing? Yeah, like I used to know a guy, this neighbor of mine, and he always would put his wife down and talk to her like a piece of shit in front of me and
Yeah.
my wife and I. We both said like, imagine what he's doing, when nobody's listening. Like if he's like acting like that. So yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on whether that was staged because to me it looked like it might have been, and nothing would surprise me. Like Keem staging domestic violence for views, that wouldn't really surprise me. But you think that was real? Yeah, I kind of believe it probably was. Yeah, and your leaks also kind of confirmed that he's not getting back. Like
Yeah.
there was some talk that they would make him go to anger management or something.
Yeah, if they were having him back, but even then they were like, I don't know if that would work.
Yeah. You could apparently you could eat cat food, but you're not allowed to beat your wife on stream, or that's a problem.
Apparently. Fucking wild.
Yeah, that's something else. But the thing with Wings is, so you enter into some kind of business relationship whereby you're going to make busts of him, 10 of them,
Yeah.
right? And it'll be
So
limited
this was
edition.
very early on before I actually ever got hired onto LolCow Queens. I had asked Wings if I could use his likelihood in exchange. He would get 50% of the profits, and essentially he would just sign these bases and send them back to me. So I had
It's
made
pretty like an
10.
easy gig,
Pretty
Links.
easy,
Seems like an
easy
easy
money.
gig.
250 times 10 is what he would have made. And so they were 10 limited edition. Like me and my friends sculpted, like modeled them ourselves. So it's not something you can just go on the internet and buy and make yourself. Like it was fully limited edition. I painted 10 of them. And then a week before I had ever been like blacklisted, he had received the package, never sent it back, ignored my messages. Then about 3 weeks ago, he answered something related to my ex. Then I asked him again about the statues, ignored my message. The other day, same thing. He answered me about the situation that happened with Keem. He told me his thoughts on it and how he's been doing. I asked him again about the statues, doesn't answer me. So he is fully ignoring the statues, and his excuse for ignoring like and scamming me out of $1,500, over $1,500, is Keemstar blacklisted you, so I couldn't talk to you.
Oh, that's really nice. I just wanted to share from your stream on your channel. 1 second. Just wanted to share those. There's pretty good likeness. Not quite as
He
fat as he
wanted,
is,
yeah,
though.
he wanted like a GTA style, like video game figure. So that's what I made.
So all he had to do was sign these and sell them and give you the 1,500. But he
Yeah.
was going to take in three, so you guys would be 50-50 splitting the money
Yeah.
from the proceeds.
And mind
But
you,
but
we
you
only sold
printed these, hand painted them, probably
Yep.
lacquered them,
Yep.
and shipped them.
Yep.
And all he had to do was sign them, right?
Yep. That's all he had to do was sign them. And we had only sold 3 at the time. That's why it's only 1,500 USD. Now I'm in Canada, so that's more like 2,000. And then he goes on a stream and he goes, hey, so the 3 people who ordered those, if you bought them, I want you to refund them right now. And so then I started getting refunds. And he said, if you've ever bought one in the past from her, refund it from PayPal. So then I started getting all these PayPal requests for refunds, and poof, my rent money was gone, and I owed $700 something to PayPal.
Jeez, nice. So you ended up
That's
losing money.
more than a fair cut. That is more than what he should have
Well, she
received.
did. Yeah, she did all the work. Like
Yeah.
he could have easily, other people would have accepted, like, well, if I'm only signing them and selling them, I just got to pump them on my channel a few times. I'll give you 60% or 70%.
Yeah.
I'll keep 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
But 50-50 is more than fair.
Yeah.
And have you followed up with him going like, can I get my money? Or
I
like,
have multiple times and he just completely ignores me. Does not
well,
answer.
now he lost all that big LolCow live money, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Do you have any idea, since I'm sorry, if this is too much, you could say you don't want to answer, but do you have any idea how much Keem pays some of these people?
I know that none of them have made what they were promised they were going to make. We were
Oh,
promised we were going to make between 10 and 1500 a month off queens individually. Never did that. Never got that much. As far as I'm aware, the most that they've ever received since working for Keem on queens is 3,000. That's it.
wow. Yeah. And there's what I have a problem with is when I was watching you, I thought that you were getting a split of the super chats. You didn't even get a split of that?
No, not at
Nothing?
all. Not
Wow.
at all. No.
So I
The
guess
split, the way it was split is Mike and Kid Behind the Camera each got 25, or sorry, Mike and who is Kid Behind the Camera and Keemstar each got 25%, and then we got the rest. The rest was split between us. But because Grace was on, it was split 4 ways for the first month.
is that why they wanted to get rid of her? Because they cut your money?
Yeah.
Adding that extra person would cut your
Yeah.
money down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that sucks. I once was running a nightclub, and they decided that and it's so funny because the nightclub went from 5 people on a Friday and Saturday night to hundreds of people. But they got greedy and they brought in another promoter, and then they were like, that money we're paying you? Well, we're taking half and giving it to this other guy who, by the way, sucks. So, yeah, I've been in that situation. It's not good when they just add a person and take your money, right? But since you weren't getting the super chats and paid separately, I guess it didn't affect you.
Yeah.
And is that what all the let's fire people, like, was it just pure greed, like Becky wanting a bigger cut, so let's get rid of this girl and this girl?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's greedy, man. It's totally greedy, right?
If you look at your Twitter DMs, I sent them in the wrong order, but you can see that this was the night that this all happened.
Okay, I'll get those. Wrong order. So last one first?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. 1 second. Let me share my screen here and I'll read these. Let me get them big here so the audience can see. Just bear with me. So Keemstar says, pause. You are telling me the ex-cuck liked to control you, so you like me controlling you. Ew, no. And then you say, no, I actually hate being controlled, NGL. Keemstar says, bet. Now more pics. So he's asking you multiple times for more.
And that was after we had hung up on the call.
And Keemstar says, wait, what's your move?
This is 8 a.m., by the way. This is after we had called. You can see up there when we had called. 30 minutes after we had called, because it says at the top 7:34. Over 30 minutes after we called.
And you say, my move is to do things that's positive for LCU, steer clear, and new nudes. And he's laughing. My damn head hurts. Me too, movement. So, yeah, clearly he's giving you marching orders. Like, you got to.
And that's at 1:03 p.m. that he's still saying, like, he's still interacting with, this thing that he would like me to follow with.
Yeah, wow, that's really kind of wacky, right? Like, I don't know. So you think he's probably just going to walk away from this pretty unscathed, right? I don't think it really affected him very much, unless he's got marital problems. Some people are saying that she's moved out, or some of that. I don't know. That's rumors and speculation. Germ70 says, if you want to work with Keem, you have to be as wealthy as him and willing to harass him for weeks to make good on his word, like a used car salesman. I've heard that from multiple people. Like, sounds like he over promises and then under delivers as far as the money goes, which I guess is to be expected because he's a hype man. Like, that's basically what he does. He just he just hypes stuff, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And if you want to, if you're okay with it, I thought maybe we could ask the audience for comments and questions for you.
Absolutely.
We usually do. So, friends, if you have comments or questions for Linx or a question you want to ask her, please put it in all capital letters. That lets me quickly identify it. So, where do you think you're going to go from here then, Linx? Are you just going to keep streaming and keep doing your art and keep doing your thing, or do you have
I am
plans?
um I am hoping that due to this audio being leaked, it helps people realize not everything is as it seems. It clears my name. He has no proof of me doxing. He says the only proof that he apparently has, which he has never shown anyone, including Rich and RTU, Review Tech USA, and Jay, who asked to see proof, never provided proof. That even if he does have proof, it wasn't me who did the doxing. It was someone in my server, which is his main like hardcore reason why I was banned. So I hope this just I don't plan to sue. No, there's no grounds for suing. I am not Grace Thorp. Thank you very much.
Great user ID. The Thorps are truly horrible people. I thought it was the Thorps for a second. Like, oh no, they're in the chat. I'm sure they're watching. Shout out to Grace. Like, and her weird dad. Like, that's just a weird situation. Somebody asked, did Ralph send you nudes back? Oh, that's gross.
No.
Bulgarian smoker. There's always guys trying to hook up. He wants to take you out to dinner.
Buy my Patreon.
Okay. Yeah, buy her Patreon if you want to ask her out. And Crocmaster, I never understood this foot fetish, guys. Do you have feet pics too?
On Patreon, yeah.
Asking.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Dr. Squatch soap? Like, that's a weird one.
I don't know who that is.
Does she watch PWR? You probably don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
That's just a funny thing. The Dark Side Phil, former fan that started his own show and is now getting 5 times the viewers that Dark Side Phil gets because Kino blew him up. Like,
oh boy, that's ridiculous.
Questions or comments in all capital letters. All capital letters. Tactical soap. What? Oh no, man. No. Yeah, Chill Station 7 says we got a chance, boys. Right?
Oh boy.
Simps.
Listen, someone paid me $500 to get my toes painted and to send them a picture of my toes painted in the color that they wanted. They gave me $500 for that. It's a weird thing that it's a fetish.
I never understood the foot fetish
I don't get it either.
Like,
I personally
I understand a lot of fetishes. Like, I understand guys that like anal more than anything. I kind of get it. I understand people that are into BDSM, and I understand the dom and submissive thing. I do not understand the foot fetish. I never will. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you that I'm sure that I've long ancient history. Like, I'm sure that I dated a woman and I saw her feet and was like, oh, she doesn't take good care of her feet, and that's a turn off, right?
But
like,
yeah, like seeing feet doesn't make you go.
Never.
Right? Yeah, no, I agree.
You're not easily offended by questions,
no.
all right? Because this one, I don't understand this one either. Can you talk about the transsexual that you dated? We'll use that term instead of that. Some people don't like the other term. Yeah, explain this to me. So you're a natural born female.
Yes.
Okay. Just so we're clear. I kind of knew that, but I just wanted to verify because you never know. I don't know.
He wanted, so 2.5, 3 years into our relationship, he came out and told me, and I knew nothing about this prior to, he came out and told me, I want to be a woman. And I was like,
well, that's weird, right?
So you didn't think to tell me this before I got invested? And in any other situation, I wouldn't have stayed. It's the fact that we had already been together for so long. And it was kind of just to take it day by day. And I was being brainwashed and manipulated. And, you know, I was being abused. If I didn't have sex with him, he would beat me. Like, I would be forced to have sex. Like,
Listen, you deserve so much better than that. Never accept a man that's abusive to you.
Oh, I'm learning that now. I'm learning that now. I see the signs now that I'm out of it, and I know what to look for, and I'm grateful to be out of it.
So did he start transitioning while he's still dating you?
Yeah, so he started transitioning closer to the end of when we were dating, like before. And he didn't want to be perceived as a woman, and like called a woman until he looked like a woman, so he wanted to be called he. And this is what he wanted to do. So the whole time he was kind of pushing me into doing this stuff. And this isn't really what I wanted to do. I didn't have this in mind. I was pretty content just doing my figures with time lapses and posting it. I'm happy with what I do now, but it was never my intention, right? And he was taking medication and stuff, but it takes a really long time for it to start actually affecting you in certain ways. And we broke up because of the things were becoming clear. He didn't have a job. He was a freeloader. When I woke up, he was going to bed, so we were on different schedules.
Well, that's
And it
weird.
was so hard to break up with him because he lives 2 streets behind me. So it was like hard to get away from
Oh,
it.
because you're still going to see him all the time if he's
Yeah,
right in
it
your
was
neighborhood.
very hard to like get away from it.
But this is what I don't understand, Link. So you got to break this down. And explain to
Yeah.
me. Would you consider yourself heterosexual? Like,
No, he was gonna keep his penis when he transitioned. He was gonna
so
keep his
he
penis.
was going to be he was going to have top surgery, but not bottom surgery. Is
Yeah.
that the way you would say that?
And I'm bisexual, so it didn't really matter to me.
Well, it's still a lot to unload on somebody.
I think though I was kind of lying to myself, and I think even like if it wasn't like abusive and everything, I think just the trans thing alone it wouldn't have lasted. To be completely honest.
Yeah. Well, it's a little better that he wasn't going to get rid of the cock, I guess, but because that's just weird. Like being with
We
a
have
woman.
Grace Thorp in the chat, by the way.
Oh well, welcome, Grace. But like being a woman and being into men and being with a man, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn into a woman." Like,
Yeah,
I
it
would
was
think that'd
weird.
be
It was
instant. I'm
jarring.
out of here for a lot of women, right? Like if
I was
well, your
being abused
situation is
and
different if
I
you're
thought I was
bi.
in love, right? And like sometimes you put yourself through things that you don't deserve, and I kind of felt bad. I was the only one who supported him through this, and his parents kicked him out, so he didn't really have anything. And I mean, when I kicked him out, he went back to his parents, and then they kicked him out again, and now he's living in his car.
Oh wow.
Like I felt
Sorry.
bad.
Yeah, I could see how you would feel bad, but if he was that abusive to you, like good riddance, and
He
hopefully.
wasn't so the actual acts of abuse didn't happen that often because I would just let the routine happen. He would say, "Hey, I want to have sex." I'd be like, "Okay, here you go." And like there was a few times that it was considered R word because when I had gone to the doctor after we had broken up, I did have signs of being R worded down there. And I had to like do some like I have to go do like sexual courses and talk to like specialists, not specialists, but like sexual abuse therapists and
Counselor,
stuff.
counselors, yeah.
Yeah. So there are signs and there were things that was happening and I was not very clear to it because we had been together for so long and there was just so much going on that and it was actually YouTube that helped me realize, what's going on isn't normal because he started being weird on stream and that's when people started picking it up. Then I started doubting it. Then I started realizing what was going on. I started seeing all the signs and I as safely as I could, I ended it. And even through ending it, like I did a stream talking about my experience and he showed up. He called the police did nothing, and he showed up and he tried to break into my house. That's how fucking
Wow.
insane he is.
No,
He
I'm
showed
sorry.
up.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you got away from him, and hopefully you'll have like a healthier relationship. You'll be able to spot the difference, because unfortunately, this, a lot of women that are in an abusive relationship, then they get in a new relationship and they sort of attract the same type, right? Like
Which
I
is
see that's
why
pretty
I think
common.
what happened with Keemstar happened. I think although I knew he's abusive and
This is
This
a fair.
this
This
did
is
not happen on lolcow. This did not happen on lolcow. I am fired. I am banished. I do not work for lolcow. I'm not getting a penny out of this, and I'm pretty fucking mad about it too.
Yeah. So just to be clear, so Blazing Mad says nearly everything on lolcow is fake. So you're saying this whole drama isn't fake? Well, she doesn't really have the, you know, I don't think you have a motive to like make to put.
No,
Some people have hypothesized that maybe Keem is the puppet master and you're still working for him, and like there's all these conspiracy
yeah,
theories that this is all kayfabe, and like you're helping him generate content, which I guess you are, but not the good time, not the good kind. And I don't know who this is. Maybe you do. It's somebody. Why a Wife Fools is saying, "Spill the beans on Desi."
I mean, Desi is Boogie's girlfriend. Desi's very normal. I sent her a little care package when she was feeling down. I've never had an issue with Desi. I think Boogie and her relationship is weird, but Desi's a pretty normal person.
And the Thorps are truly horrible people. Great user ID says, have other LCAL universe outcasts reached out to you? This seems worse than anything Keem has done before.
They have, but they asked me not to keep their name private because they don't want to lose their job.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Do you know this person Gulag? When is the wedding with Gulag?
I
No, I don't know what that. And brother Linx is getting me hot. Calm down, guys. Be respectful. Like, we want to have more female guests here, so it's not always a sausage party. You got to be kind to the guests, right? You got to be kind to the guests.
And you guys, make sure you like the stream. How's there 365 of you and only 150 likes? Like the stream.
I don't know what's going on. There must be a lot of people watching on Kick and other platforms because I have an
Mm.
aggregate of 580 right now because we multi-stream. So yeah, come on,
Okay, yeah,
guys.
that makes sense.
Like the stream, and also if you're in the YouTube chat, links that's convenient. Links are pinned into the YouTube live chat. I'll go over to the Kick chat and pin them in there as well because she has a link tree where you can get all of her stuff that she's selling, but I have a feeling that most guys are interested in a certain kind of content you recently started producing, Links. Like, you know, the Gooners are going crazy, apparently. Let me put that in the Kick Live chat, and we'll take a moment to recognize the Kick Live chatters. Have you done Kick yet? Do you have
I
a Kick
haven't,
channel?
no. I've just done YouTube.
You really should try Kick. It's great. And, you know, YouTube takes a big chunk and Kick takes very little in comparison, right? So
Right.
we'll see if we
It's
have.
hard because I normally do paint streams, and that's normally just on my phone.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Marcus Aurelius gifted a sub over on Kick. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And Chief Fugi gifted a sub on Kick as well. And I'm going over to the Kick chat, and I will put links in the Kick chat so that you guys who are interested.
He didn't. First of all, I don't think you want Grace Thorp in here, but he also didn't pay me for my time. I'm glad to be here. This is fun for me. I'm not being paid to be here. Great.
What is Grace? She's saying that you're getting paid to be here or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't pay guests. That's just a general rule. I wish we generated enough that I could, right?
Oh, and I wouldn't expect to be paid either. Like, that's just a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and Can You Read My Deadpan is letting not a sector guy covers UFO grifters and fake psychics and fake healers and scammers and new age fake gurus. We cover all the paranormal stuff in case she's wondering. This is not my usual wheelhouse. I said at the beginning of the broadcast. But Grace, you know, I know you have some problems with links. I encourage you to work that out privately. Steve definitely got the $5 package. No, I'm married, Grace, and I have not ever purchased pornography of any type. I don't.
Why would he?
support
It's free.
Yeah, and I got a hot thin wife. Like I don't really need it, you know. Like, but you know, I've never purchased pornography. I've never supported an OnlyFans girl. I've never purchased nudes from anybody. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, if you ignore her, she'll hate you. By the way.
Well, you know, I'm just to be clear, I'm kind of indifferent towards her. Like I don't really know her too well, and I know her from. I used to watch LCAL Queens, and then honestly, when you and her weren't on it anymore, it seemed like it got shitty. Like it wasn't
A lot
as
of
much.
people say that. A lot of people say that.
It wasn't as much fun anymore. So, Moth Loves Detracting, good question. And I was curious about this as well because you seem to be incredibly talented with art. Did you go to art school, Links?
I didn't. My science teacher actually gifted me a 3D printer because I wanted to create Xena the Warrior Princess Chakram, like her circle sword weapon. And essentially, I made it myself. Then I just started randomly making like statues that you couldn't really find online. like to buy from, like for example, like Alice Madness Returns. I have that behind me. You
Yeah, like
can't go
niche
out. Yeah, you can't
niche
go and buy
stuff. You
that.
can't go buy that. So
Yeah.
you're actually custom making those
Yeah.
things, right?
So then I started making things for myself, and then my friends were like, "Oh, that's cool. Can I buy that?" And it's been about 2 years now, almost 2 years now. I've done it all self-taught. I've learned it all myself, and it's just trial and error. I have a figure up there.
Yeah, I'm always impressed. I told Links that I paint on canvas. I used to paint on canvas. Lately, I haven't painted, but I'm
Mhm.
always impressed with your paint collection back there. Like it gives me an art boner. I'm allowed to say that. And Glow in the Dark had a very good point. Let me buy nudes when my wife is an accountant who analyzes all my finances like a hawk, and who I've described as a jealous wife. Right? Yeah, she sees. I just survived doing my taxes with my accountant wife.
Oh no.
Every year she almost murders me over receipts and shit, like she's a by the book. You should see her spreadsheets. She spreadsheets everything. She would notice if I suddenly started giving somebody $50 on PayPal or whatever.
Yeah,
She would know. And she would
she
ask
would
me,
know. Yeah.
what's that? I could have maybe. I could say, well, that was research. I have to research the guest, honey. She's going to be on the show, so I wanted to research her.
Yeah. That
Can
makes
you read my deadpan? We're going to get more Papa Links interviews. I watched them today, and it was hilarious.
We are gonna get more
Yeah,
popular.
I like your grandpop. He seems like a pretty cool guy. And listen, I just want to say, God bless you for being a caretaker, because
I appreciate it.
I know how difficult that is. My father died very young, and I
Um,
ended up having to take care of my mother, which was very difficult because she had drug and alcohol and mental issues. She was a paranoid schizophrenic.
oh no.
Imagine taking care of her for 20 years,
Um,
and so I know how difficult it could be. And this,
I couldn't even imagine, like, with what my ex's job was. We were around a lot of people that had those issues,
yeah,
and it's terrifying. I honestly could not imagine. I'm beyond grateful that that is not my situation. No offense, but
yeah. God bless the goal. Spooky is saying, and by the way, thanks. Spooky did that. Spooky
that
did the
video was
graphics,
amazing,
and
Spooky.
Spooky did the
Honestly,
graphics. Yeah,
we should be seeing a W in chat for Spooky. I'm just saying. I want a W chain for Spooky for that video because that was amazing.
Listen, somebody says links. This Apollo and a bunch of numbers. Apollo. Hi, Stephen. While Links is a sight for sore eyes, major step up from that David hates females psycho. Go, Stephen. Yeah,
Well, thank you.
yeah, and yeah, it's kind of weird and surreal to me because when I was watching you lolcow queens, it was kind of like I was doing all these guest spots. That's how I found your show.
Mhm.
I'm doing all these guest spots on Kino Casino, and I'm like, I got to try to understand what's going on here with all these different people. And somebody told me lolcow queen, so I started watching. I never in a million years would have thought that I would ever speak to you, let alone you have me on, be on my show and everything. But with the Kino Casino, all those guest spots, we're trying to do some other content. A
Mhm.
question here: the Thorps are truly horrible people. Did Links do the song at the beginning? The lyrics were absolutely brutal. No, I did that, and I wrote the lyrics. But I was telling Links, isn't this funny? If you go to many AI animators, and by AI animators, I mean those apps where you upload a picture and an audio, and it animates it to the audio and makes it
Yeah.
sync. You can't do that with Keemstar. The AI software will refuse to do it, saying that he's a celebrity, which I thought was bizarre. So somehow, how can I make fun of Darkside Phil? I can make fun of the Kino Boys, David Wilcock, anybody I cover, but I can't do it with Keemstar. The software won't let you. I thought that was really weird. Bring PPP in. Suffolk Suffolk Grace Thorp. Uh, this is another good question for you. Just out of curiosity, would you be willing to go to UFO conventions and ask uncomfortable questions to UFO scammers? Because we might have a job for you, Links.
I would. That's very funny. Yes, I would. That's kind of funny.
You could be our roving truth seekers correspondent. Do you know there's UFO conventions that I'm not even allowed inside of. Like they won't let me in.
Why?
They will not let because I bust all the UFO scammers and they all hate me, you know? So there's places I can't go. But I'm an asshole. You know what I do to those places? I give people shirts and I make them walk around with my shirt on so that they know I'm not
Why
really
would a
there, but
shirt?
some
When
of
you
my
like a
friends are there.
shirt?
Well, you know what? Our I'm putting the merch store back up. I had sort of a partner doing it, and I don't blame him. He kind of quit because we weren't really selling a lot of shirts, so I have to redo it myself,
Okay.
and I've been working on it. But we'd also you we also have a collaboration opportunity. You can make me UFO stuff to sell, and
I
I'm not
do.
wings.
You guys could get your
Oh
very
yeah,
own.
let me solo you for that. Let's show that off because that's something else. I can't believe that you made that. Look at that. He's got the UFO on
And
his shoulders.
you could just get like marble if you want marble instead.
Yeah, guys, buy some of. I want to buy one of those for a set piece, right? Do you
Yeah, I'll
think you
be
can?
sending this to you once you send me your address. I'll be sending
Oh,
this to
you're
you on
awesome. I'll
Monday.
pay you. Listen, can you mirror that and make a second one so I could put one on each side of
I
the
can,
desk?
yeah, I can.
Yes,
I
I
can
will
do
pay
that.
you. I need new set pieces. That would be awesome. Soft Ninja says probably because I think Keem has appeared on Forbes' list of internet people, and Phil and Wilcock did not.
Oh, you know what? That's possible.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use a. You're not allowed to troll Keem with AI software. Apparently, Keem is too big. Honestly, I never heard of Keemstar until he entered the UFO space. And by the way, he was not well received. Even the grifters were like, "Fuck this guy! He's trying to cut into our grift pie." Like they didn't like him, you know. And
Yeah.
it didn't work out, right? And here, the Thorps are truly horrible people. Would Link still like to rebuild the lolcow bridge, or is she done with them forever? Good
So I
question.
never wanted to rebuild a bridge or get my job back. I just wanted to mend the bridge and let him like get him to take away the ban so people could still interact with me. Because we do have a lot of crossover people because my name did build from that sector, right? So the
Yeah.
fact that I'm cut off, it's hard. But honestly, at this point, I don't give a fuck what happens anymore. I mean, I have my people. My people will grow. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, if you don't. If you want to listen to a man who can't even ride a fucking roller coaster because he's so short and he's so bald that he needs to wear a hat constantly to feel any sort of, to not get embarrassed, you can go ahead
Suffer,
and do
bald guy, suffer. Oh shit.
that. Suffer.
Can you read my deadpan? Has a good point. Well, we should make Links the undercover crystal hippie bitch girl at these UFO conventions. She's perfect for the job
Yes.
and can document what happens inside.
I kind of got the vibe already going.
You look like one of those crystal hippie bitches almost. Spooky wants to know, can he make the UFO light up? I
I
could do
could.
that.
I could.
Yeah, I could do that. But
Possible.
we're gonna get and listen. Whatever you would normally charge for that, I'll pay you for two of them. Like I want to help you out,
No,
so that'd be
no.
a
I'll
great way to
send them
do
to
it.
you.
You
I'll
don't
send them
have
to
to.
you.
I'd be happy to PayPal you. I have to. Every year around this time, Links, I'm in this attic room, and it has no heat and only one window right behind me.
Right.
And with the air conditioner in here, when it gets too hot in the spring and summer, I have to move to another place, and I hate that other
Oh,
streaming location. So this year, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy a bunch of set pieces and make a different sort of set,
right.
and then I'll enjoy the move. Like I won't
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
every year I'm like, oh fucking gotta move to that other shitty spot to do my show for the next couple of months. But with some extra set pieces, Kenny Read My Deadpan says, do not mend the bridge. A lot of people don't think you should do that, right?
Well, that's not it's not needing to be mended on my end. I need him to remove the ban.
And
It's all on his end.
do you know how tall Keem actually is?
No, but he looks very short. And I mean, with the type of anger and attitude he has, he comes across as a short kid.
Napoleon complex. I'm 6'3", so I'm good in that department. Suffer, shorty Keem, midget. Do you think Keem has ruined his relationship with Blantley because of this?
Yes, I think they're trouble in paradise currently. I don't know if it's going to be permanent. I think it's less the fact that it was me and more the fact that she's now being humiliated for allowing this to happen.
Yeah, I could see how like if this didn't blow up, but once people start saying like what's going on with her, like why isn't she pissed off about this?
Yeah.
Kim got pressed by wings and folded almost immediately. Yeah, I mean,
Did you want to ask Thorp, like answer Thorp TV's question a little further up from that? I know it's not in caps, but
well, let me see if I could find it. Did you read it? You could read it out and then answer it if you
um,
want to.
Thorp TV says, "Is it immoral and illegal for Keem to be doing what he's doing to Linx's career? Do you agree? It's called business interference."
Torturous interference. Yeah, I agree that what he did to Grace was wrong. And as a content creator, like I'm horrified that he would do that to another, regardless of whatever I think of Grace. Like you don't deserve that. Well, what do you think about that situation, Links?
I agree. I think it's tortious interference, but I don't know how much ground she has to stand on in terms of like actually prosecuting it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And she's got to be able to prove the damages, but I guess the
Yeah.
damages could be no income from YouTube for months or whatever it took her to get her YouTube channel back. Right? Like, obviously, if
Oh,
she was
so she
kicked
was
off.
asking about me.
Oh, do you think what he did was torturous interference? She was asking about me. I was asking about Links. Yeah, but I think it applies to both me and Links. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I would think that the problem is that lawyers are very expensive,
Um,
and it's going to take.
I need to say this publicly on the record since she will be an hour away from my house. Do not come anywhere near me. I am not inviting you to my area. Do not, under
Tortious interference.
any circumstance, you stalkers, come anywhere near me. I will call the police if you show up at my house. I know you have my address and I know you guys are crazy. Please, for the love of God, leave me and my grandfather alone. Please.
Yeah, come on, Grace. Be kind. Don't. I think Links has got enough dealing with. She doesn't need visitors, unannounced, unwanted visitors, right? Yeah. So, well, what do you think is next for this situation? Do you think Links that this is going to blow up further? But you kind of dropped everything you had. Like you already dropped everything. Like you don't. There's no more stuff, right? And Grace
Um,
says she's not going to your house. I don't know your address, and you live in Canada. I don't even have a passport. All right, well then
alrighty.
that's good. She won't show up unannounced with her dad and like I don't know, make you lick panties or something. I don't know what would she be doing? Like I don't get it. Oh, it's all in good fun. Every woman that I know licks panties in the same room with their dad. There's nothing weird about that. Live on stream licking panties with your dad in the background. There's nothing weird about that. It's perfectly okay. Like if her dad's down with it, right? You got to bring in viewers
Her
somehow.
dad's supervising her, right? It's okay.
I wonder if he picks the panties she licks. Do you know?
I don't know. I think her dad picks it out for her, honestly. Just like her dad picks out her outfits.
He does? Really? That's
I
weird.
don't know if that's true. I'm just being a dick.
Plan C with 5 says they won't let Ben into Canada. You can't get in with a record. Well, I don't know what's the deal with that, but thank you, Plan C.
He wears them first, Tony the Tiger says. I
The
do.
only people making her Links lick panties are her Patreon members.
I don't
I
lick
don't,
panties for money. Nice try though. You do it for free, so at least if I did it for money, there'd be an actual reason to do it. I don't sell or do anything with my panties, and you know that. You're just jealous that I made 8K off my body and you can't make a single cent off yours. Because no one wants to pay for a fat fucking whale in a
oh,
bathing suit. So
shit.
why don't you actually run back to oh wait, I would say run back to Keem, but you already did that. And when you ran back to him, you called yourself a slut and a whore, and you wrote it all over your face because you have a decoration fetish, which is exactly why you licked panties for free for the internet in front of Daddy and Hormaxer.
God damn. Suffer, Grace Thorpe. Suffer, bitch.
Also, bitch.
Soft Ninja says, what about when Ben looked Grace in the eye wearing nothing but his undies and said, Daddy just nutted? Oh,
That was so cringe, bro. That
it's so gross.
no, stop it. It's so gross. Oh my god.
Yeah, Can You Read My Deadpan says, hey, remember when Keemstar made fun of Mundane Matt for being a channel flagger for years? Then he started doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Felt it. Somebody says felt it. get her. Fucking mailman. I see
Yeah.
there's a lot of fans of hers in the
Can I
chat.
ask, like, what is this obsession? And I mean, no disrespect by this question, but I see a lot of your chat asking if I'll go on Kino Casino. I don't know anything about them. I did have a slight conversation with Andy, I believe his name is,
Andy
but I don't
Worski,
know
yeah.
anything about it.
Well, basically, they're like lolcow queens, but just two of them, and they're both from Canada, and they're hugely successful. And they talk about people like Rikaida and Review Tech and Darkside Phil and a bunch of other different people, and so yeah, I would imagine that they would like to probably have you on as a guest to talk about this. If they do, I'll put you in touch with them. They've
If
got
they
a
would,
they
I
have a huge,
yeah.
huge show. They have the last,
If
I
it
think.
builds, and possibly sells me some figures, and
Oh hell yeah!
then I'm cool.
I think last night they had 6 or 7,000 live viewers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so that's why she desperately wanted me to try and get this on Kino Casino to cover it. That makes sense. She's clout chasing. Got it. It makes sense now.
The end is near, beware, and I thought my first super chat was too bad as to not read, but I don't think it's as bad as this. If I missed yours, I apologize. It wasn't intentional. I'll check the. I'll check the. I'll try to check the log and find where you whatever you super chatted before and read it. We read every one. Sometimes I missed one though, so I apologize if I missed it. And I don't think whatever you said was so bad, considering all the wacky shit that we're talking about here, right? I don't think it was too bad. So yeah, I think if you want to go on Kino Casino, I think that would be good for you. And thank you. The end is near. Beware. I'll try to find the other super chat and read it as well. They did cover a little bit of it on Kino Casino, but they didn't know the extent of your FAS. I don't know what they mean by FAS.
Fetal alcohol syndrome, which is what I had.
Fetal alcohol
And
syndrome.
I actually did a stream with my grandfather where I kind of asked him, like, how do I explain it for people who don't understand? And the easiest way to explain it is like I have it severely, but I also took classes and I learned, like, I used to have an IEP because of it. I'm deaf because of it. I have like teeth issues because of it. So I am severely affected, and it does affect sometimes the way I interact with people. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. But that being said, essentially, I kind of grew out of it and learned how to manage normal human interaction as much as I possibly could. So I was in like a special class for 3 years. Not a special class, not special ed, but like I was in like after school classes with
Yeah, you
just
needed
one
support
teacher.
because of your
Yeah.
situation. Yeah.
And I would have to sit there and talk. And like if I did test or something, I'd have to go into a special room. I can't write because my FAS is really bad. To like my writing's really bad. I can't drive because of it. So it has severely affected me in some senses. But I have learned how to not make it like so severe because
Honestly, I wouldn't have known that you had any of these issues if I didn't hear you talk about it.
Exactly, yeah.
The end is near. Beware. You did send a super chat, and you said she in no way has to answer this, even hate asking. But does she know if Grace really messes with her father? As it's so disgusting, so it makes me want to know if it's just for drama.
We answered that earlier. Where she
Yeah.
said it doesn't happen as often as people think. They play the narrative that it has happened. They play into the joke. Even if they aren't sleeping together, sharing a cigarette, sleeping together every night, platonically or whatever, the shit that they do on screen is just weird.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like something you would want to joke about, like
Yeah.
joke that I'm banging my daddy, like I don't know, and it's weird they live in a van together or whatever.
Yeah.
Has Linx ever taken an IQ test? She seems more intelligent than the entire rest of the lolcow community combined.
I haven't. I would probably be pretty bad. I'm not. I'm terrible at math. I like to think of myself as like street smart, but in terms of like book smart, I thankfully did pass high school, but with a lot of hard work. And I did have a scholarship to culinary school. But as terms of like doing like, what's the word? There's like book smarts, and I'm not very book smart.
Okay, well that's fair. Yeah, I wouldn't even have known that you were. I
I
wouldn't
hide
even
it
know.
very well. Once you interact with me a little bit better, you'll know. But like I said, it's taken a lot to get to where I am and to be normal functioning. And the bullying, honestly, I'm gonna say something controversial. Not all cases of bullying is bad. In my case, me being bullied kind of forced me to correct my actions and to really think before I do and understand these are the things I'm being bullied for because this isn't societally acceptable. And it helped me kind of check myself and fit better into society because of it.
Well, kids can be cruel. Thorp
Yeah.
TV. I didn't realize smoking a cigarette was basically incest. You know the rumors. You know the rumors, Grace. You know what people say. All over your Twitter threads, people are saying that you bang your dad, and like I'm an outsider looking in. I don't know if that's true, but it's weird that so many people think that. Maybe they do just because you live in close proximity and live in a van together with your pop. I don't know. Look on the bright
Greta.
side, Links. At least you don't look like Greta Thunberg. Yeah, that's a good thing.
That is true. That is true. I have been blessed with not having the physical attributes of someone with FASD as much as I can say that.
Oh, we got to. This is a good question. Have you ever thought into getting into doing tattoo work? If you like art and are good at it, there's good money in it.
I have, and it's not for me. I tried to get into it. I did do some of my own tattoos. Like I have some tattoos like here that I did myself.
Oh, you're gonna
Simple.
you're gonna freak out the foot fetish people showing your
I
ankle.
but I have socks on. I'm just
Oh,
showing
okay.
my ankle.
All right. Then it's okay then. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
but yeah, I it was one of the things that I wanted to do, and then it went from I was gonna be a chef, like a culinary chef, before I found 3D printing, and I was gonna I wasn't gonna go to school for it, but I worked in a restaurant at the time before I fell in love with 3D printing, and then I lost my job due to a medical issue, and then here we are.
wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this. I've had a really good time tonight. We made it a special Saturday night show. You don't know this, but I don't work on Saturdays. Usually I'm at my cabin in the Poconos in the mountains.
Oh,
But
I thought it was special.
since it was Easter, I stayed home this weekend, so I thought, well, we could do a show on Saturday, and this one kind of fell into my lap. So, yeah, you two are absolutely gross. Suffolk or Grace Thorpe, and now her dad's in the live chat saying there's rumors about her dad and my wife. Yeah, I don't think so, bro. Yeah, she's well beyond his pay grade. Let's just leave it at that. All right, so we've kind of done our due diligence. Is there anything else that did I miss any of the drama? That I think we got all the big stuff: the Grace Thorpe stuff, the Keemstar stuff, the lolcow stuff,
The
and
wing
the
stuff,
wing
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we covered it. So yeah, I hope you'll come back. Maybe there's some other things
Yeah,
if you have a.
absolutely. If you ever want me on, if you ever need a filler, if you're ever bored, you just shoot me a message and I'll be there.
All right, great. Well, I appreciate it, and I wish you the best of luck. And I will contact you off air about those set pieces, and I will insist on paying
Absolutely.
you. I have PayPal. It's okay. Yeah. So thank you for doing this, and the audience really enjoyed it. I had more messages about this show than I think any other show that I've ever done.
Really?
I got so many DMs and people wanting to
Oh,
know
look at
this or
that.
that. I think we covered most of it. We covered most of it. So thank you for doing this, and don't be a stranger. And you haven't been
Absolutely.
here before. You could just when I kick you off, I'm gonna do some wrap up. But you could just shut down the browser tab, and that's fine. You don't have to sit
I
there
will say,
for.
I do want to give a little like commend to you because you were the first person who, when bringing me on for an interview, even though I knew the steps, were still very adamant on making sure I knew the steps and helping me even if I didn't. So I really appreciate that, and that
Well,
really
what's
helped.
funny is so many of you guys run your shows on Discord, and I
Yeah,
don't. So I'd like to tell,
yeah,
especially if I know that they the Kino Boys run their show on Discord, and so many people do, and I do it
yeah.
a little differently. So I just wanted to, give you a
And
heads
I
up.
really
Like,
appreciate that. I really appreciate
all
that.
right, well, I wanted it to go smooth, and this went great, so I really appreciate it. you never know with these kind of. I call this an Evil Knievel show, Linx, because you're probably too young. You don't even know who Evil Knievel is. He was a daredevil, and he used to jump all these cars with a motorcycle. And half the people showed up to watch him clear the jump and have a good night. And the other half of the people showed up to watch him crash and burn. So this has been one of those Evil Knievel shows, and you don't know what's going to happen. All right, thank you. Don't be a stranger now. And
Absolutely.
Best of luck to you. I will keep your the link to your link tree where people could buy your products or get on your Patreon is pinned in both chats. So go over there and goon, guys. She needs the money. Let's help her out.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, you have a great night. All right, and we have from here on in, I will read every super chat as they come in. It's noble that Linx is caring for her grandfather. Yeah, that, to be honest, I have my own experience with that, and that made me instantly sort of sympathetic and empathetic towards her, because if you don't know, being a caretaker of somebody, especially a disabled person, is just rough. Caring for her grandfather. Happy Easter. Before we start torching panties here, wanted to get that out. Okay, who's got a match? Oh boy. Yeah. So listen, we have done our due diligence. I'm gonna bounce on out of here. I wish all of you a happy Easter. I hope you get a lot of candy and Easter eggs. I want an Easter egg. My kids made so many Easter eggs. I'm gonna be eating hard-boiled eggs all week. But we want to thank all of you for your kindness, generosity, and support. We didn't hit the overtime goal, but that's quite all right. I'm a little busy tonight. I have to start moving into the other streaming location. I'm going to go have a few beers and try to do that. So, yeah, that's really all I got for you. I hope we covered. I know people had a lot of questions. I hope we got to most of them. So that's all I got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Dark corners of the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Shadows try to hide, no place for them to bide. Light will pierce you through, reveal what is true.